Alright, it looks like another mulligan. Only one land, so this hand is better for sure. Oh, and it looks like we're playing against Johnny Hot Sauce. Someone who I'm pretty familiar with. Moto Grinder. And Thunderbreak is on top, so we'll top that. And we are going to hope to draw another red source soon. Just going to chat it up a little bit with Andrew Shrout, the player we're up against. But we won't be nice to him this game. We're playing against some sort of humans deck. And we're just going to hope to go ahead and Draconic Roar away this town gossip monger and hopefully get out in a Thunderbreak Regent soon. Still missing the red. But yeah, we're just going to do this no matter what, so main phase it. Hopefully we draw the red source on time. Okay, always watching isn't particularly impressive here, and we did draw the red source in Haven of the Spirit Dragon. And could be that this Thunderbreak gets something like Reflector Mage. We are playing against blue-white humans. Yep, okay, there is the Reflector Mage. So that does mean our opponent's gonna lose three life in this exchange. And we drew Sky Spawner, so let's just go ahead and play that one. This could come down to a pretty interesting damage race. This Dragon Lord's Prerogative we may not have time to set up, which is pretty unfortunate. But let's take this. It means we're going down to 15. And we'll see what's up next. It could be, if it's Dragon Lord Ojutai, that's definitely bad news. Okay, it's not Ojutai. Looks like our Scion's biting the dust. Interesting. So, we definitely don't want to see another copy of Reflector Mage here. But we're still going to play as if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell here. And we can race. Alright, there's Declaration in Stone. That means we're at 8, our opponent's at 6. Sin Prodder is going to be the draw step. Interesting. Huh. Alright, well, can't win if you don't try, so let's continue on. We do have burn spells in our deck, so we will see. We can plan on blocking the Thraben Inspector with Sin Prodder. Gideon, though, is probably just game over, assuming, yep, there's the emblem. And, yep, we're dead. So yeah, the Randing Volleys, we're going to want to go ahead and board those in for sure against White Weenie. Beyond that, we don't want to do too much. Sky Spawner is pretty solid. Sin Prodder, it's okay. Scatter to the Winds is a card we can board out. We can board out Dragon Lord's Prerogative. Shave Sin Prodder. Exquisite Firecraft is fine. Not amazing. Maybe we'd rather have the Sin Prodder. Because we are on the play, we just want to have an aggressive start here. Alright, this start's pretty aggressive. We've got Jace Frid's Prodigy. And then potentially we've got some action with our Avacyn's Judgment Madnessing it out. And looks like our opponent's going to mulligan here, so that's good from our perspective. And there is the Gossip Monger. If our opponent plays a 1 toughness creature, we could potentially get him with this Avacyn's Judgment, but it looks like actually just plains and pass is going to be the play. It's pretty likely we're up against a Knight of the White Orchid here. But it seems to make sense just to play Sin Prodder. I'd be pretty surprised if this wasn't a Knight of the White Orchid, but that's not really a card you can play around very much. Your opponent's just going to get value out of it. Oh, actually, okay, interesting. It's Declaration in Stone. Well, we can loot here. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to value our opponent with this Avacyn's Judgment, but I still don't think we want to discard it. We'll just discard a land. And there is another Jace Frid's Prodigy going to the graveyard. And okay, we drew a land anyways, so that's pretty good. And our opponent's probably got something like Reflector Mage for this turn, I would guess. Okay, actually it's going to be Stasis Snare. Probably on the Sin Prodder. Yep. And our draw step was Draconic Roar. We don't have to use it yet, though. Interesting. It looks like this Town Gossip Monger is just going to trade off for a Scion. That's pretty good news. Especially since we have another Eldrazi Sky Spawner. And now we can go ahead and... Well, we can either pop our Clue, or we can fire off a Draconic Roar here. I think popping the Clue may be better to accelerate into Icefall region. Nah, let's just Draconic Roar. And now that we've drawn a second Draconic Roar, it's pretty hard to see us losing this game. That's actually pretty good here. Declaration in stone. Okay. We get 2 clues, though. Yeah, I think we just want to go ahead and deal our opponent 4 damage. Seems pretty good for us considering we've got 3 burn spells in hand plus a counterspell. Alright, so that worked out well. But we are going to be on the draw for game 3, which is pretty unfortunate. We have access to this exquisite firecraft, so I like boarding that in for the Force Sin Prodder, just because removal in this matchup is a lot more important when you're on the draw. And especially when they're reflector maging you, sometimes you don't have time to dump all of your creatures into play. So, not changing too much here. Just a couple minor switches, essentially. We saw that even though our opponent was able to Declaration and Stone us a bunch, those cards we drew off the clues were pretty important. And the Eldrazi Sky Spawner actually provided us a ton of value in that last game. So, we are going to keep this hand. We wish that this was like a mountain, the Wandering Fumarole, so we could cast the Fiery Impulse on turn 1 if our opponent has a 1-drop. But no 1-drop. So we're pretty likely to just have Jace on 2 here. There's a Dragon Hunter. Although, one downside with playing Jace this turn is that our opponent can just Reflector Mage the Jace. Interestingly enough, I think it's right to just go ahead and get rid of this Dragon Hunter. Save us some damage. And that way we can go Jace plus Rending Volley on our next turn, if we want to. Although we do want to save the Rending Volley for Dragon Lord Ojutai, if possible. So yeah, let's just play Jace. Hold up Rending Volley here. Alright, Declaration in Stone, that's pretty good. Pretty annoying, but we're not under too much pressure here. So, let's drop the Sin Prodder into play. What we're really the most scared of is Dragonlord Ojutai plus Always Watching. That's a good draw. Thunderbreak Regent. Okay. And I think our opponent's just gonna be outmatched this game. Yep, that's gonna be it.